Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. Wednesday night baseball action. Yankees at Detroit. All I got to say is if you ever got to hear 30 seconds before we go on air, you would just die. But that's for behind the scenes.
Unfortunately, it's all downhill from there.
That's usually what she says.
Yeah. Hopefully this won't last any more than 2 minutes.
Well, you know, we're pacing ourselves. Yankees at Detroit. This is a big series. The Yankees, they're in good shape. I mean, they're running away with the East. Detroit, every time we talk about Detroit, we got to say it. This was a team that was supposed to run away with the division. Odds-on favorite with the additions they made. And they're still not there. We're taping on Monday. I think they're a game and a half back of the White Sox. The White Sox is a team that just can't get any love from anybody. All they do is keep winning. Every time Detroit gets close, the White Sox, slap them away. And Detroit's still favorite to win the division, and they're in second place. How does that happen?
Unfortunately for Detroit, they can't play the Indians any longer, and that was a heartbreaker yesterday. We're taping this on Monday, and the Sundays when Perez melted down, but hey, that's Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland, that's a story for another day. It's
sure.
Been a long road trip.
And with Pittsburgh over the weekend, with the Cincinnati Reds, you don't have much to brag about either here. So it's
No,
a tough weekend for us Midwest guys.
No, I don't. At least Pittsburgh avoided the sweep. If they would have got swept, I think they really would have went into a tailspin. But we'll see how they respond this week back at home. Yankees here, they send the big guy out, CC, and I do mean the big guy. I love CC. He's the only guy that, has got a little bit of a build that I can, hey, there's hope. I could have been an athlete. Baseball pitchers are the only guys that can get away with a physique like that.
Yeah, in the old days, back in the 60s and 70s, there was a lot of them, the Russo brothers, Sam McDowell, a lot of big guys. When everybody got into the weightlifting and everything, it went away. But there's still a few out there.
Yeah, all right. Fernando was no
That was
skinny
a while
boy.
back. That was a while back, too.
All right. Well, this one here, we've got CC going against Sanchez. Sanchez is the new addition for Detroit. They went out to get another arm before the pitching deadline. And, his first start for the Tigers wasn't good. He pitched good in his second outing. Of course, the second outing, I believe, came against Cleveland, so everybody looks good against that.
Lately. Yeah, especially lately.
But CC, he's a dominant pitcher, no question about it. He's not overpowering on the road, though. I mean, he's an average pitcher on the road, 4.26 ERA. I mean, that's for somebody of his stature and name and what you're going to get built into the price with him. Him on the road's not a great bargain. And I really do think this is a good spot for Sanchez to shine because he is an underdog. I'm saying the Yankees are going to come out at $1.25. We agree on that price. So he's not expected to win. If Sanchez can outduel CC, that's a huge confidence builder for him and really going to win over the Detroit fans. I expect a big game out of Sanchez here.
I'm concerned about Sanchez. He's pitched this year against American League teams. He got a 5.45 ERA. And take a look at the teams. You already mentioned Cleveland, a team right now that can't hit side of a barn, as they say. He played Toronto twice. Decent offense in Toronto. Hit or miss. A lot of home runs or nothing. And then Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay could be the worst offense in the American League. They're pretty bad offensively. So
good pitching, bad hitting.
Yeah, and we saw that yesterday with Price throws 8 innings of shutout ball, and they lose 1-0 in extra innings. But it's a situation where he has not fared well against American League hitters, and now he's going against by far the best offense he's faced in the American League. Coming over, we've talked about this in the past. We talked about this last week with Dunster, coming over from the National League to the American League. But rather than take Detroit or take the Yankees, I kind of like the over because we're going to see, I think, with Detroit, with Sanchez, you're going to get a decent line because of him. And as we talked about with CC on the road, you're going to get a decent line because of his name. But you take a look at Sabathia, his road ERA is 1.5 runs higher than his home ERA. And he's going up against Miguel Cabrera, who definitely owns him. Cabrera, in 23 at-bats this year against CC, 12 RBIs, .435 batting average and 4 walks. I mean, basically, he's just getting up there and doing whatever he wants against CC. That's two big guys in this combination.
He's making CC his little we're on YouTube. We can say he's making him his little bitch. Okay.
So I'm going to take a look at the over here. I think we're going to get a little bit of advantage here. And anytime these Yankees, I mean, both teams, Yankees and Detroit, anytime you can hit the long ball, you can put up runs in a hurry. I talked a little bit about Toronto, a lot of hit and miss with Bautista in the lineup that way with a lot of home run potential. So you get a couple of runners on base, and all of a sudden you've got the under in a game with a team that hits a lot of home runs. It's going to be tough to win.
I can't disagree with you there. The only reason that I'm expecting a little better outing from Sanchez is, and I agree with everything that you said, his numbers are a little bit skewed because he's pitched until that last game against Cleveland. He had pitched 5 consecutive road games. That usually doesn't happen because teams are, moving around. It just happened that his team, when he was with Miami, was on a, road trip, and he hit a couple starts in a row there. Then he got traded to Detroit when they were on a road trip, and he got a couple starts. 5 straight road games. That was his first home game, and he pitched well against Cleveland. Again, we got to keep putting that asterisk because it was Cleveland. I just expect a better outing from him. And Detroit's playing well, right now. They've won 4 in a row going into the start this series, and they got Verlander pitching on Monday night, so they're going with the Rays. So very well could be on a 5-game winning streak, when they hit Tuesday night. This is just a situation that the Yankees, I know they're playing well, and it's amazing me with all of the problems the Yankees have had injury-wise this year, that it's like they don't miss a beat. They've lost starting pitchers. They lost the greatest, one of the greatest closers in all of baseball, and they're still running away with the division. This is just, I think, a good spot for a live home dog. It's not a big play for me. It's just a regular play, but I'm going to take Detroit. I think I got to agree with you. Maybe we'll see some runs here, and if we get an over/under because of the names of 8.5. This is one of those, 9's not going to be that hard to get to. I could see a 5-4, type game, or if CC has an off night, both lineups can hit the ball. You could see this one of those 6-5 shootouts with no problem. I'm going to go with Detroit. We'll give you an assist on the over.
I just want to touch on one thing you mentioned. You mentioned the 5 straight road games for Sanchez. When was the last time he'd ever pitched in Detroit? I mean, even though that was technically a home game, he never pitched on that mound before.
So it was like 6
so in reality, it was an unfamiliar mound for him. So that could be, not technically, but literally 6.
Yeah. So then you would be saying this would then be like his first home game because he just pitched the last one in Detroit.
I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say he's unfamiliar with that mound last game. So.
All right. Well, we'll go with that. I'm going to go ahead and take Detroit in an upset on Tuesday night against CC Sabathia. Take the Tigers. There'll be a small home dog on Wednesday night baseball. We're going to be right back. We're going to take a look at, it's that time. Do you smell it? Pigskins in it. No, it wasn't burgers for lunch. Calm down. Pigskins in the air.
I should cut one for a second.
Wow. This show's just going downhill in a hurry. You don't know what you're going to get when we two team up. We'll be right back. We're going to look at Thursday night football. Where can we go from here? Washington Redskins, Buffalo Bills. That's up next. Pregame.tv.